So I am in Romantic Country, and this is book one. It just came in the mail the other day. But for you that are in Coloring Books Keep It Clean on Facebook, it's an all women's group. There are monthly challenges. You're getting a peek into what our next challenge is. We've been cooped up in the house so much, I thought it would be fun to do any page that has a building on it. A house, building, buildings, anything with four walls and a roof. How's that? Even a doghouse. I don't care. Anyway, I thought what I would do. Oh, there's a part two to this challenge. Use your least favorite colored pencils. Most of you know mine are the Raffines. I used to describe them as being very scratchy. Well, I've gotten to where I like Crayola, so I went back into the Raffines, and lo and behold, as you can tell, I'm able to do it now. Yeah, so I guess it just took a lot of practice, but I'm liking them okay. They're still not my favorites, but I like them okay. I tell you what I like is I like the colors. I like the colors of the pencils. So, but what I want to show you real quick before I get this completely finished up is windows. So I took a yellow, this is 503, that's all it tells me is 503. I colored the panes. All right, then I'm going to 505, again, that's all it tells me. And I'm doing the bottom 2/3 of the middle window. Okay? There's not a huge difference, but a little. And then I'm going to do, in that bottom window, I'm going to do about the top 2/3. And if I'm jiggling the camera, my apologies. I've not moved it back to the window yet. It's still attached to a light that's turned off on my desktop. So anyway, then I'm going to move to number 552. And this is more like a yellow ochre. And I'm going to come down here and get that bottom, about the bottom third, maybe a little more, because I'm going to blend it going up. Okay. Now the only thing I am finding is I'm not able to layer quite as much here. Now I'm really going to shake. Just because in this book, I don't think there's as much tooth and texture, but the pages are nice and thick. I love this paper. I'd rather work at the blending and know that I've got decent paper here. All right, then I'm going to go back to my lightest one, and I'm going to use that as a blender. Okay, not using a colorless blender, not trying to move around the color that's already there, trying to add one last little bit of color there to the paper. Okay, and there you have it. So, do you see how that window actually looks now lighter at the top, darker at the bottom? So if you've got a light in the window, it's going to show up brightest in the very middle and then get duller as it goes out. If it's up in the ceiling, it's going to be brighter here and darker at the bottom. So that's the thing that I went by was I said, okay, my lights are all in the ceiling. It's lighter there, gets a little darker at the bottom. So whatever you want to do is fine. Let's look at this lamp real quick. Let me sit back down. Try to keep you in frame. Yeah, this setup is really bad right now. So I'm going to take the lightest of the yellows again. This is the 503. So like just a pale yellow. All right. So I'm going to go right here with the pale. So that's the glow from the bulb, right? Then I'm going to go to the next one, which would be just a sharper or brighter, maybe a deeper yellow. So I'm going to it next. Let me check these leads. Yeah, that's another thing with these pencils. You can't go by the tips here on what they look like. Yeah, it's just false. So now I'm going to come up here and get in these corners some, and then I'm going to do around here. Now, the reason I do this when I'm doing a light is because that light spreads out some. It's not just right there. So this actually, and I've seen a lot of people do the light like right there and then stop it. And notice I've come back on my pencil some. Instead of being up here, I've come back some. That light should fade out. Okay? So don't have your light right there and stop if you want it to be more realistic. Have it come down and then fade out. Okay? That's also the reason I don't have a big shadow here, because that might be illuminating that a little bit. It's illuminating here. I put more of my shadows over here. Okay? Alright, then I'm going to come back to that darker one that's more like the yellow ochre. And I'm going to come out here just a little bit. And that's just going to help set that yellow in there. I can even come underneath this. Again, this is not going to make a big change, this yellow ochre. It's just going to finish filling in that little bit of tooth in the paper. And there might be a little bit that escapes up around the edge. Okay? And I'll pick that up again and show you. There you go. See how it's just going out. It's not staying in one little bubble area. All right? Now, if you're on your phone at the very top, at the side, I think it says other or something. Anyway, there's a place that you can click and go over. If you want to make a donation, then that's what's going to enable me to afford other brands of pencils and books and things so I can do more reviews for y'all. So, yeah, even, you know, a couple bucks, $5, $10, I don't care. Anything's helping right now with all of the mess going on with COVID. Yeah, I have like 3 little part-time jobs, and I also paint and sell out of my home. And the income we have right now between the two of us is making masks. That's it. So, yeah, if you want to make a donation, we'll take that. You can also find me over on Facebook, and you can find the group Coloring Books Keep It Clean. That's because we don't do skulls, witches, skulls, that type thing. It's just really a light-hearted, all women's, fairly quiet group, but it's fun. So look us up, and again, that's windows and lighting. And if you're in that group, you now know next month's challenge is going to be some sort of a building with your least favorite pencils. So have fun with it. I will post that challenge the 1st of June. So if you'll do me a favor and not let it be known that you know that challenge yet, just keep that to yourself. And I will see you on the next video. All right, thanks for stopping by. Toodles.